This morning we have with us Neil Vollmer, and this is focusing on Dakota life. And Neil is the head or the secretary of the Lions Club here in our community in Newell. And we've invited him in to share with us this morning some things about our Lions Club and what you do. So Neil, just take a moment and tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, what brought you to Newell. I know you raised your families here, so tell us a little bit about that.
We were living in the bison country with my wife Linda's parents, trying to make a living that way. Mm-hmm. And prior, I had been a county extension agent out at Dupree. Have some great friends up there, I had managed a Angus ranch, and then we decided we wanted to get it started on our own, and her folks said, well, come on up and let's do something. Well, I'm pretty strong-willed, unfortunately, and after 3 years or thereabouts, I said, well, let's either do it on our own or go do something else. Mm-hmm. And we started looking, found a little acreage here at Newell, and bought it, was able to make the arrangements to buy it. And so that's what brought us here. I liked Newell as we traveled from my folks' place at Sturgis to Linda's folks' place on college breaks and vacations and things. I liked Newell as we drove through it. It's always so beautifully green.
Yeah, it's because we irrigate.
That's it, because we can put the water on. And so consequently, I said, that's where I'm going to look. And we're happy that we settled here. Great people.
How many years have you been in this community then?
Well, that's a more difficult question, isn't it? I'm going to say 1979.
Okay, awesome.
When we moved here, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Lions Club. And I know that your motto is "We serve."
Yes.
And I do know that the Lions Club is a vital part of the Newell community. But tell us how you got started in it, and
Sure.
and the place that you've had several positions in it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, in 1983, the summer and the fall, a group of Lions from Sturgis came up to Newell and started canvassing the community for the possibility of restarting a Lions Club in Newell. There had been one here in the 50s and 60s, and then it moved on. And so this group of guys canvassed the town, went up and down the street, and by the fall of '83, yes, there was 20 of us that had signed up. Actually, it was 30. All men at that time, because that was the rules. And we started. We were chartered by Lions International and had our first banquet and meeting in November of '83, and we were off and running.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a big group for this area.
Yes,
that really is.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Lions Club, again, the motto is "We serve." So what are some of the areas of community service that the Lions Club is involved in here in Newell? I know there's several, so take your time and explain them. Yeah.
I'll start by saying that what a community or what a Lions Club does in a community is whatever is needed in the community. So Lions International does not give us guidelines as long as it's legal and is something that the community needs. They say go for it. And so eyeglasses, vision, helping vision, has been the first project that Lions International took on in 1925. Helen Keller, as a middle-aged woman, came to the Lions and said, would you help the blind and visually impaired? And at their national convention at that time, because we were still just in the United States as an organization, they voted yes to help the blind and visually impaired. And so that's vitally important to us.
Yeah.
We put our box up in the grocery store and ask people to donate their used eyeglasses to us. They are reconditioned, and they are used in vision tours or trips. There's a better word for it, can't think of it right now, where we go into South America, Central America, and even sometimes into Mexico with teams that screen people, and they take along upwards of 5,000 sets of glasses, and they will probably give them all away in a 5-day period.
Wow.
In any one of these countries that they go to. Linda and I have never been on one of them, and we've promised ourselves that we will someday, but maybe not. But what a benefit to them that we collect used glasses, and those folks can benefit, use them. Yeah. So that's the main thing we do. Beyond that, it's anything. You know, the road ditch cleanup was another early one that we started to do, just because it's the thing to do. A few years, I suppose 8 or 10, somebody came up with the bright idea that at our cemetery, the north side and the west side was pretty bare, and that we should plant trees in there, which we have done, and I think it's like 125 trees. Again, this year, there's 4 or 5 of them that are dead, and so we will transplant some more into that. We want to put up a better looking entrance gate on the north side, and with the mayor, Ken, and he is a lion, it's pretty easy to get some working together that way. And both him and Donna are lions.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we're going to plant some trees and put up a little prettier fence.
Okay.
We weren't able to find old fencing that would match the east fence.
I see.
They're just not around anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll come up with something, probably some smooth wire, 2 or 3 layers of it, and then we're going to put an entrance with boards, probably the plastic white ones, you know, and something nicer looking on that entrance there.
Oh, that'll be nice.
That will be.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, the thing that probably we're best known for in the community and around our state, our district, is pancake suppers.
Yes.
Yes. And that started, I asked young Troy Swetzig, what year did we have that benefit for you when your trailer, your mobile home burnt down? And the best we can come up with is mid to late 90s, and we kind of narrowed it down to 97, so we're going with that today.
Okay.
And so we've been doing these benefits ever since then. We just had one the other last Friday night, and that was the first one in a year, of course, because of COVID, but we did have several of them last winter over the fall. We kind of prefer, I kind of prefer the falls because people aren't near as busy. And so between September and April, I just think is the best time to get people. And oh man, did we have a beautiful turnout. They were ready to eat Lions pancakes last Friday night. and that's a biggie for us right now. We have something called a Leo's Club. And a Leo's Club is kids that are of high school age, to get them into the we serve others philosophy early on. And they started with a project of helping the clientele down at the New Dawn Center by giving them the personal items, the toothbrushes and
Yes.
toothpaste and deodorant and those sorts of things. And they have a neat idea. They put all of that stuff in, and almost fills up the bag. It's a, and maybe you've heard, it is a pillowcase, and they get it full. The clients there can only stay 90 days, so there's a turnover, and so they have new ones coming in. So this will be a project that the Leo Club can probably look forward for many years of doing, and it's a great project they came up with there.
So how do you recruit the Leos, the seniors there at school?
The Leo group is open to anybody.
Okay.
I think age 13 and above.
Okay.
And so it kind of gets it into the middle school and into the high school. And it's simply the kids asking other kids if they want to join. And when it was started, maybe 5 years ago, most of them were freshmen, I think, probably. But as they went through their high school, they stayed. And so now there's a good mixture, as I see it, mix of ages of the kids that are participating in the Leo Club. So great program, great initiation for them into community service.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was looking at your website last night for the Lions Club International.
Yes.
And it talked quite a bit about providing leadership training
Yes.
for the Leos. Do you know much about that? Because it seemed like there were some online courses and programs they would actually put them through if they wanted to.
Yeah, there is online that they can use. Now, internationally, Leos have changed their definition of what a Leo can be. Leos originally were kids in high school age. Nowadays, there's really Alpha and Omega Leos. I think that's actually what they're called. And the one is for individuals who are out of high school up to age 35.
Okay.
And they're called Leos. Whether it's the Alpha or the other, I don't know. And then the younger ones are also Leos. And so for that training that's online, it's primarily geared up for those in that older bracket of Leos, older age bracket. And it's for training for leadership. And they have some outstanding programs. This Saturday, we have a officer leadership training program that we're going to conduct in our district. And we are really modernized. We're going to use Zoom. And so each of the communities, we have Lions Clubs in 33 communities, I believe it is, in the western 2/3 of South Dakota, are called our district. And so I've been part of the organizing group of that at the district level, and we've invited their new officers to attend via the Zoom, and so we're in hopes of getting a good turnout. But it's a training, it's an educational, it's a leadership thing.
Yeah. I noticed that one of the points that they stressed in the information that I was reading is that at your meetings there's absolutely forbidden any religion or politics discussed. And I thought that was really interesting. So, as
we started, that was pointed out to us in 1983. Leave your politics at the door, leave your religion at the door.
Yeah.
Let's get together as individuals to help our community.
Yes. Yeah.
Very important, really.
Yeah. Well, if it's a place of contention, it does need to be left outside the door. So that is wonderful. Oh, I noticed that it said that the acronyms for Lions is Liberty, Intelligence, and Our Nation's Safety. So what is it, when it talks about our nation's safety, what does that kind of lean towards?
That particular slogan was adopted in the 1940s. And for the most part, Lions were people who lived in the United States.
That's right, yeah.
And that word safety
Yeah.
was a sneaky way to work in support of the war program that was going on. And so that's really what the background of that is. Lions went into Canada in 1920, and but that's just an imaginary line up there between the United States and Canada, and so they were worried about their safety as well as we are about ours. So that's where that came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So internationally, it says that your global cause is services for diabetes, vision, which you talked about, hunger, environment, and childhood cancer.
Yeah.
So what can you share with us about any of those projects nationally?
Sure.
Because those are very broad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Let's start at the bottom of that list. We're more familiar with it here, and that's that childhood cancer. Internationally, the board of directors probably 5 years ago added the childhood cancer to their list. And last year was our second attempt, but it was canceled. So the year before was our first attempt, and we did have it. We contacted, we as in our district leadership people, contacted a campground at Bear Butte, just west of the lake, and asked them, and they were looking to get into more youth. They had just started it, and so we did. We had a camp. And that camp, that youth camp, is set up so that there is one adult type youth at this camp for every youth that's there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
One-on-one. And they've had as young as 5-year-olds with diabetes that have come to their camps elsewhere in the United States. And the idea is to let them know that there is support for their disease. And so they have a lot of fun. They also get some education on the taking care of themselves.
Yes.
They're the only ones that can. The other programs that we have, we've basically helped eliminate measles around the world, other than the United States. Oh, a little. Insert of a personal opinion there, Maddie. But that was a major thrust of Lions International, probably close to 20 years ago, to eliminate measles worldwide. Another one is with all of the filthy water around the world that some people have to consume, that is contaminated. It's got all kinds of harmful ingredients in it, and the Lions International has built lots of pipelines.
Awesome.
In places where water was a problem. They've dug wells in the African communities, especially where they have no water access. And so that, in the 90s, probably had a push in that particular 90s and on into 2000. So all of those things you mentioned, they've had support of the International Line Board of Directors, and it really all started with an individual that said, wait a minute, this isn't right.
Yes.
We can help that community or those people. And that's really where they all start, that board of directors there. So
it just takes one with a vision, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yeah,
Just
it does.
one. Yep.
How do you get involved, the Leos and the Lions? How do you get involved like this and begin to serve the community?
Yeah. Lions rule is you have to be invited. You have to be asked.
Okay.
Would you like to join our club? And we've never turned anybody down, and that's the beautiful part about it. That anybody here in the Newell area, there's a club in Nisland, Belfouche, of course Spearfish, Sturgis, Piedmont Valley, Rapids got several. There's lots of cities that do have Lions clubs, and you have to be invited, but that's a formality, certainly. And then once you've paid the dues, then you get a Lions Club pin.
Okay.
And when we have our monthly meetings, and some have weekly meetings even, when we have our monthly meeting, anybody that doesn't wear their pin, they better get a buck out of their pocket. Our tail twister will be looking them in the eye and saying, "Fine time."
Yeah, I see.
So we have some fun too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll guarantee you, of the 40 members that we have, you just visit any one of them, that'll get you an invitation into joining the Lions Club, and certainly myself or Ken. Our current officers, president is Carol McCarthy, first vice president is Bill Green, second vice president is Troy Hewson, and Marge Adams is our treasurer, and I'm the secretary, and you can talk to any of us officers, and we'll give you another name if, if you'd like,
Alrighty.
of a lion that would invite you to be.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What about donating to the Lions Club? Are you a 501c3?
It's not a C3, but it is a tax exempt 501c4, I believe, but it is still a tax exempt. So any money's donated, you'll get credit for that on your income tax returns. Yes.
So where do you get the finances as a club to do the things you do in our community? Where does that come? Is it strictly donations, or?
We've been fortunate enough to be able to raise them through work, and the one particular thing, several years ago, Steve Shanefish is a Lion, and he came to the Lions Club and said, "Would you Lions help us out at the school by selling tickets to various of the athletic events?" And we said, "Of course." And he said, "We'll even pay you." And so we are allowed by Lions International's legal rules that we can use that money for any purpose, club purpose or community helping others purpose. And so we split it up that way. And that's just been a good program for us. Others, we get money from other people and organizations also as a donation. The Thrivent organization, when we have these fundraisers for folks, they're always there with a few dollars to help pay for, quite a few dollars to help pay for the food for those events too. So various ways of having some monies.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Neil, for joining us today. Is there anything that you would like to add or share to our community? Or
boy, do you live dangerously. I'm as bad as Ken Wetz about talking, you know. The community has been so good at receiving us, and then when we've been out for donations, we used to sell light bulbs door to door. We used to sell candy door to door in the 80s, and those are a couple of things that we learned as new Lions back at that time. And but the people really do use us, and we invite them to do that. If they have a problem or something, please get a hold of us. You bet.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for the invitation.
All righty. Thanks you.